Happy Monday. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Happy Monday. Don't mind my mighty patch. That those kind of days over here. Good morning. Y'all knew I was gonna be late. Don't be confused. Don't do that. Hi, how are you on this marvelous Monday? Oh my God, thank you so much, Debbie. Already before I even come on the live, thank you so much. Good morning. How are we doing on this marvelous Monday? I hope everybody had a good weekend. It has been windy and blowing our wigs off around here, and I am sick of it. The baby's sick of it. We're all sick of it. Everybody is sick of it. We are ready for the warm weather, at least some sunlight. I mean, the wind was blowing so hard around here this weekend. I thought my house was going to come out of the ground, and I'm just over it. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope you all are doing well. I had a good weekend. It was 313 day here up in Detroit, so that was fun. We celebrate that like it means something. I'm not sure what it means, but means something to us. So that was fun. I am in the throngs of trying to find an attorney for my grandmother's wrongful death case, which is kind of shaping up to I might have to do that myself. And that is going to be very annoying because y'all know I hate courtroom work, but somebody, it could be you, it could be him, it could be him, it could be you, but somebody is going to pay for what happened to my grandmother in that hospital. And I understand because, these law firms are 7, 8, 10 people, and so they really only want to take cases that are millions and millions of dollars. And I don't think my grandmother's case is millions and millions of dollars. It's worth something. The loss of companionship for my grandfather is worth something. Their lack of monitoring her is worth something. Their lack of noticing of decline is worth something. And we're gonna get it if I got to do it myself. Y'all know how I feel about courtroom work, but girl got to do what a girl got to do. Any hootie, yes, Debbie. One day when I'm strong enough, I will tell y'all the full story. I am not strong enough for that yet. Um, and I'm sure y'all will be on my side. But any hootie, let's get into let's get on into it if we gonna get into it. Kouri Richins week 3. It's week 3. Days 10 through what? 14? Because there was mostly argument. Kouri, hey, hey, Kouri, you in danger, girl. Kouri, you in danger, girl. You going to jail. You going to jail, Kouri. And what's so funny about, I mean, not funny. It's never funny when anybody goes to jail. It's never funny when anybody loses their life. But what's interesting about that is the reason I believe Kouri is going to jail is strictly based on her actions. And I don't mean just, poisoning. I mean everything after. You're going to jail because you can't shut up. Let me tell y'all, it's never legal advice on this channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's never legal advice on this channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. However, the best quote legal advice I can give you is to shut up. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. Shut up. When they come ask you questions, say my name Bennett and I ain't in it and I want my lawyer. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't even speak the English. And don't get into jail thinking they're not watching your every move. They watching who you talk to, they watching what you write down, they listening to every phone call. They don't skip one, especially when you're on trial. Especially when you're on trial. Or when they know they're going to try you. When they know they don't plan on giving you no deal, they know they plan on taking you to court if they can. They're listening and watching everything. Shut up. Kouri is going to jail, in my opinion, based off her words, actions, letters. Because, and I know some of you may disagree with me. I know some of you may disagree with me, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think without Corey's actions afterwards and her just being a flat out thief, the state does not have enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she poisoned Eric with fentanyl. Is there some, she probably did it? Is there some, if not her, then who? Absolutely. But without the actions and words of Kouri Richins herself, the state does not have enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she poisoned Eric. Without that, let me ask you a question. Without the walk the dog letter, if you can try, if you can try to put the walk the dog letter out of your mind, where do you land on this case? Because it is my belief that if you were like, she probably did it, but I don't know. Once you saw that letter, it was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, she for sure did it. Because there's no reason, even if everything in the letter is true. Let's just work off that premise. That everything in the letter is true and she's just trying to make sure everybody understands what's going on. Why are you writing it down like that? You know what you do if everything in that letter is true and you want to make sure everybody remembers what they're saying? You tell your lawyer. You tell your lawyer. You say, "Hey, my brother got this evidence. My mama know this. My grandma know this, and then you need to go talk to him because I'm sure he got text messages." That's who you talk to. You don't write it down with "walk the dog" huge on top of it. And not only that, her words of, "Oh, this is just part of me writing a novel." Oh, so now you lying about it? Now you lying about it? Because if it were true, you would say, "Yeah, I was writing it out for my lawyer to make sure that he did the things I said to do because that's what I wanted to make sure that." No, you lied about it. You in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. And you going to jail. You going to jail. But let's back it up. Let's back it up because we got to back it up. We got to back it up. So I think the first witness I remember this week is the best friend, the business partner, who, by the way, is a snitch bitch. Who tells on their best friend and business partner for hunting? He was out there hunting elephants and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. He wasn't out there hunting no endangered species. You're a hater. And you my boy. And you gonna tell me? Send me to jail? I think that's crazy. But also, he was another, and this has been the theme with the prosecution. And this is why I say without Corey, I think they don't have enough to get over the reasonable doubt hurdle. They do now, all because of Corey. But without Corey, I don't think they do. Because every single prosecution witness, and listen, I understand to a certain degree. They think that she killed their brother, friend, son, whatever. So I understand the animosity to a degree, but it doesn't play like that on the witness stand. When you won't answer simple questions that require simple answers, it makes you start to look like you're trying to make fetch happen when that's not what was happening. Right? Like when the defense attorney was asking him, but wait a minute, she changed the life insurance that was yours, right? Well, I don't really know. I don't really know how it all works. Yes, you do. When the defense attorney asked him, so you took the computer, did you turn it on? Or did you check the computer? Did you look in it? I barely know how to turn on a computer. Sir, you are a business owner of apparently a multi-million dollar business. Stop playing in my face because it starts to make me think, what do you think that's doing to your case? Why do you think that if you admit, yeah, I took the computer from her ass because I was mad, what do you think that does to your case? For some reason, you think that's going to be harmful. And so you up there playing stupid. And every single one of their witnesses did sort of something like the same thing, where the defense is asking them very clear questions. Because listen, you can say, yeah, I took the computer because I was mad and it was a work computer and she didn't need it. I ain't even going to it. That ain't even why I wanted it. I just wanted to get away from her. Like, why do you think you can't say that? It's because you're trying to come off meek and demure and like we're just these very innocent people and this terrible, terrible woman, Corey, did this terrible, terrible thing to us. But it comes off disingenuous and it comes off as something innocent. You'll try to turn it into something nefarious because you don't like her. And now I can't trust you. Because if she did it, say she did it. But if she didn't do it, don't try to wrap it up in a bow to make it seem like she did it. And I'm not talking about the killing itself. I mean just the other things that they were talking about. And then they had a very interesting argument with the best friend about illicit street drugs. And I have loved this judge. I love his voice. I think it's very soothing. I like looking at him. I like listening to him make his rulings. I like looking at him stand up. I like looking at him stand down. Okay. But this is the one time I did not agree with his ruling with the best friend. And he ruled that the whether or not Eric was popping pills could not come in, even though he had already previously allowed in some hearsay because he said the defense opened the door. Here's what. Whether the defense opened the door or not, I don't think the judge should have allowed the prosecution hearsay. And if you're going to start down that road, then I think it's very unfair that the defense was not able to ask him about the popping of the pills. And because, and this is what I mean by disingenuous, right? Because the friend wants to get on the stand and say, well, I don't know what illicit street drugs are. I don't know what they is. So okay, so if you don't know what they are, how do you know what they're not? Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't know what they are, how do you know what they're not? You're able to tell us absolutely not he wasn't taking illicit street drugs, but you just told us you didn't know what they were. And that's the type of disingenuous I can't get with the prosecution witnesses. And understandably, they want Corey to rot in prison. I get it. But in the court of law, we are going to have the truth and we're not going to dance around it. If she's guilty, then we're going to convict her. But if y'all just mad and y'all send this lady to prison for the rest of her life, that's not how we want the justice system to work. How are you absolutely sure that he didn't do illicit street drugs when you just told us you don't know what they are? And then I think the defense was right when they said he just differentiated between red devils and popping pills. He made it seem like that was two different things. By the way, do you get high off Sudafed? I take some Sudafed before. I don't think I got, but maybe that's because I was actually sick. Now I'll tell you what I will do. A Tylenol PM hate to see me coming, honey. Girl, when I want to go to sleep and I just can't seem to fall asleep, or I want that good, heavy, sleepy feeling before I go to sleep, Tylenol PM hate to see me coming. It see me coming at the door. Sudafed, I don't know. Sudafed knocks you out. Okay, Helena, maybe. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking the wrong kind. Because I'm like, do he mean Benadryl? Do he mean a little Motrin PM? Yeah, I know that it's used to make stuff, but I didn't know that they just pop the actual pill as to get high. Like I know that they use Sudafed to make other drugs, but I didn't know you could just pop a Sudafed and be high. It really does nothing to me. But maybe because by the time I get to Sudafed levels, I am on my deathbed. Okay, I can't breathe out of neither one of my nostrils, and my throat is about to close up. So maybe it don't work on actual sick people because I got to take a Sudafed and a Nyquil if I want to go to sleep. I don't know. That might be a small OD, but oh well. Ain't no way. It's just Sudafed, Regina. I just can't imagine that. So when he said, "Yeah, I knew he was popping pills," I think that's evidence they need to hear because y'all know my theory is that they both was popping pills. That both was popping pills, and people want to use the fact that they checked his liver and it didn't look like it. But he may not have been a heavy pill user. He still had to go to work every day. He might not have been popping them every single day, all day, to the point where you can notice the damage in his liver. But where are the other 60 some odd pills? Where are the rest of them? So yeah, the friend got on my nerves. And then who do we have? Then we had the handwriting guy. He didn't really matter. Which again, without Kouri herself, there is reasonable doubt all through and through here. You think she flushed them chaotic kids, but why buy them? Why buy $600 worth of pills? I don't know. Anywho, we had the handwriting expert, and all the handwriting expert told us is that it wasn't Eric, but he didn't say it was Kouri. And I mean, common sense tell us if it ain't Eric, it's probably Kouri. But that doesn't work in the court of law. That doesn't work. That's not enough. That's not enough in the court. And then we had um the investigator who I ain't gonna lie, brother was pretty good at his job. Brother was pretty good at his job. I don't know about the placing of the trackers on people cars. That's a little sus. That's a little weird. I need you to tell me more about that because who the hell are you to track me anywhere? That's a little sus. Me putting shit on my car. You just a lay at the end of the day, you're a private investigator, but you're just a layperson. Well, how would you feel if your neighbor just walked up and put a tracker on your car and just and watched everywhere you went? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm needling with how I feel about that because I don't know how I feel about that. Um, The defense cross of him went nowhere. I think he was their most credible witness. Some people may want to put it on Carmen. I think it was him. PS can absolutely be sued if they do something suable. Um, it's sus. Ain't so plain Jane. Don't be put this random man from nowhere because he called himself a private investigator, put no tracker on my car. I mean, I do know how I feel about it. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. I don't like that shit at all. I don't like it at all. Don't put no tracker on my car. Um, then we had the cell phone expert come back, which listen, the prosecution in their opening statements put up those three gifs, memes, whatever you want to call them, and swore that Kouri accessed them a mere minutes after Eric had died. And then he gets up there and tells us he can't tell if they were coming or going, who they came from, whether they came to her or whether she sent them, whether she searched them. And we start to think, then why are they here? Why are they here? And I didn't watch all of the pre-trial motions, and I don't even know if this was part of a motion. But if I was the defense, if you can't tell me where they came from, when they came, if I searched them, if I just received them, why are they coming into this trial? Because they seem much more prejudicial than probative to me. Because the gifts to me don't matter either, Debbie, but the prosecution made such a big deal about them in their opening, closed out their opening statement like they was dropping the bomb, like they was dropping the mic. And I 100% believe that those gifts were about the house that she was closing on. So that's just disingenuous on the part of the prosecution to me, because they absolutely were insinuating in their opening that she searched these after she killed her husband and she thought she was about to be in the money and it's fools everywhere and I'm really, really rich. That's exactly what they were trying to insinuate. And now we got this man up here like, yeah, I don't know when she got him, when she sent him, who she. Okay, so then why are they here? And why did you just show them to us like they were just the bee's knees? Like she just killed her husband and went immediately to sending gifts to people. And then who is she sending them to? Because if she was sending this to somebody about killing her husband, that means they know that she killed her husband. Then who was that person? I think that was a very disingenuous move on the part of the prosecutor. And I don't know what all the pretrial motions were, but I feel like that might be small. That I'm sure that'll be part of the appeal, if not when she's convicted, because the way they added them to their opening definitely strongly insinuated that she searched these because her husband died and she was happy about it, and now she had all this money to burn. And it doesn't seem like that's what they proved. Um, and then we had the first investigator who's now a canine officer, and she didn't want to be there. You could tell she couldn't wait to get her dog and get the fuck on. um, but she says again, she's another deleting conversations, but y'all have to remember she's a thief and a cheater. See, this is why I think the defense's closing has to be, because they brought it up in opening, they have to set up all of the bad evidence and call it the witch. And then they have to say what it really means as the widow. Because deleting huge conversations, if you think she's guilty, is because she was guilty, because she's trying to hide shit, because she's trying to hide the fact that she killed her husband, because she's trying to hide her searches, because she's trying to do this, this, that, and the other. But y'all have to remember she's a thief and a cheater. She's a thief and a cheater. She has to erase shit. She has to erase every conversation because she might be talking to her best friend about her man. She might be talking to the man. She might be talking about how she's stealing. So it could go either way. I'm not saying it automatically means that, but it could be either because there are searches on the new phone. After they took her phone and she got a new one, there were searches about fentanyl that she didn't delete. Maybe she thought they wasn't going to take that phone because they already had one. I don't know. But she's a thief and a cheater. She got to delete shit. Okay. Um. So the first investigator didn't really do anything except the defense asked, you know, again, it was Corey's words that's going to convict her because the first investigator said we searched the trash, there was nothing in it, and she said her housekeeper had emptied it. Mind you, they're there at what, 6 in the morning? They're there at 6 in the morning. Apparently, Eric died, or she found Eric dead somewhere around 3. Everybody went to bed at 9:30. There was no mention of a housekeeper in the house. Number one, there was no mention of a housekeeper in the house. Number one. Number two, she couldn't remember the housekeeper's names. This is why she's going to jail. This is why she's going to jail because of shit like that. There's no other reason besides you being guilty to lie about that. I don't care if I take my trash out right now. There's nobody in the house but me. The magical trash fairy will put something in there. If I empty my trash at 9 o'clock in the morning, by the time I woke up, there would be something in there. Your trash is completely empty because the housekeeper emptied it when? When did the housekeeper empty it? At 2 in the morning? When did the housekeeper leave? And how come you don't know the lady name who walking up through your house emptying your trash? You're a liar. And now you're going to jail. And now you're going to jail. Now you're going to jail. Based off your words alone. Nothing else. Everything else gives you reasonable doubt. Except the shit you did. You know your housekeeper name. And where is this trash? What was in the trash you didn't want them to see? Very weird. Um, and then we get to Driscoll, who, let me tell you something, is quite possibly the dumbest dummy that ever did dumb. He is so immature and stupid and unqualified that a defense attorney with any real skill would have tore him from limb to limb. And I'm not saying these defense attorneys are not good. I'm saying they did everything they could for their client. They went above and beyond with the arguments. They're just painfully unskilled at the art of cross-examination. Cross-examination. And any other attorney worth their weight would have tore him limb from limb. There is no way. You are the lead investigator on this case. You have sat in the courtroom the entire time and you say, I don't know that much. You say, I don't know that much. This is your case. This was your what do you mean you don't know? You're supposed to know this case in and out. And then he was trying to throw shots at the goddamn private investigator. That's the one who wrapped this case up for you. You didn't do that. You didn't do any of that. If it was up to y'all, Kouri would be around here peddling that goddamn book. If it was up to y'all, Kouri would be on Good Morning America talking about Daddy, are you with me? Or whatever the fuck or whatever the hell it's called. I have never seen a a lead investigator say, I don't know that much. And the problem I have with the defense is it feels like they based their entire case off of what they assumed the prosecution would do. What do I mean by that? When the prosecution is putting on their case in chief, as a defense attorney, you can cross examine them, but you can only cross examine them on what the prosecution brought up in their case in chief. You can't go all off in the weeds of stuff you might know or stuff that even might be evidence and the prosecution didn't bring it in as evidence. If it's not impeachment, if it's not a consistent statement, if it's not something that the prosecution asks about, you just can't go all willy nilly. And it felt like the defense had a lot of evidence that they wanted to get in. They were just waiting for the prosecution to ask this one question and then they were going to pounce on it. But here's the thing, the state knows that's what you're waiting on. Because a lot of times when the state was questioning witnesses, I felt like they stopped a little bit short. They stopped a little bit short of getting everything I felt like they needed from a witness. But I feel like they stopped it short in order to not give the defense a chance to do what it is they wanted to do. Which is why I say without Kouri talking, doing weird shit, hiding shit, throwing shit away, deleting shit, without that, she walks away because the prosecution did all they could to stop just short of letting the bad facts in and bad evidence in. And that it feels like the defense was waiting on that. It feels like the defense was waiting on that. And as a defense attorney, you can't plan your case around what the prosecution is going to do. You have to have damn near three cases at all times going. You got to have the case to answer the prosecution. You have to have your own case, and then you have to have a case just in case you decide to put on your own case in chief. Kouri's going to jail because Kouri thinks she's bigger than the program. That's just what it is. Kouri thinks she's bigger than the program because there's no way you was running around here spitting up all this money in all of this debt. She's going to go to jail because of the debt, and I think she's charged in a civil case, or I don't even know, but she's going to go to jail for murder because of the debt. Because the jury is going to feel like she, eventually this bubble was going to bust. And what was she going to do? Eventually this bubble was about to bust. And what was she going to do? And it seems plausible that she would kill her husband to not have this bubble bust in her face. And the immediateness of trying to break into his safe, Kouri, you in danger, girl. I have never been so sure about a conviction. I haven't been sure about a conviction in a minute. I have always been like, it could go either way. If you believe this, you believe this. I've never been so sure about a conviction in a very long time. Kouri Richins will be convicted of first degree premeditated murder. Now, That attempted charge is some BS and they know it. And even though I think she might have poisoned her husband this time, I don't think she did it the last time. And even if she did, there is not enough evidence to bring that charge. But they wanted to bring that charge so they could bring evidence of that charge in order to bolster this one. And I think that is some schemy, shisty, ridiculous shit that prosecutors do that I don't agree with. They charged her with that, even though they know alone. Just say that was the only charge there was. They would never be able to prove that. And they would never bring that case. But they brought that case along with the big one so they could put in evidence of that case while they're actually charging the big one. They don't really care about that attempted case. They just want to be able to talk about it. They just want to be able to talk about it. But that's some schemy, underhanded BS, if you ask me. Um, Kouri is going. What did I say? Kouri is going to jail based on everything Kouri did, because it is my opinion that none of the witnesses put the nail in her coffin. None of them. Not Carmen, not Robert, not any of the police, not any of the family members. Nobody but Kouri. Kouri's going to jail because of what Kouri did. Just makes it seem like the rest of that. It makes it look like what everybody. It makes it easier to look at what everybody said in the negative, even though we know that they are bolstering, if you will. Because I'll never get over that sister saying she looked like she was done up. She like she had on a matching outfit and she didn't even come hug me. And then we watched the video and it looked like Kouri was in her pajamas with a messy bun and she did come hug you. That is the vibe I got from all the prosecution witnesses is y'all are putting 20 on 10 and I cannot believe you. But also Kouri did some weird shit that makes you look very suspicious. That's suspicious. That's weird. Not remembering your housekeeper name. That's weird. That's weird. Writing that walk the dog letter and not just going to your lawyer and telling them all the details you need them to know. That's weird. That's weird. Trying to break into that safe. That's weird. And I think you put them sisters on your ass when you tried to sue them about that trust. You tried to sue them about that trust, and that put them on your ass, Kouri. And I know you wish you could go back and say, never mind. You tried to sue them overbearing ass sisters about that trust, and that put them on your ass. Even if they had their suspicions before, they went and hired that private investigator when you sued them, and now look at you. All you had to do was go about your business, keep selling your houses, sell your book, do what you had to do. The walk the dog, the walk. It was so it, it was so unnecessary. The walk the dog letter was so unnecessary. And then it's like I don't know if she gets nervous and can't think on her feet because if she, and this is why I would be without if Kouri had not done the walk the dog letter or said anything, I would have been in the jury room saying if she knew that she killed him from fentanyl, if she knows she gave him fentanyl, she knows they're going to do an autopsy. Why wouldn't she say, yeah, we pop pills sometimes? Because that would have been her out. She would have gave him the pills. We pop pills sometimes. Here they are. I took one. He took one. And I don't know what happened. That would have been it. They would have called it an OD. Everybody would have been out their business. And that's it. So I don't know if she just get nervous and can't think straight and don't think past step 2. But the walk the dog letter, you got nervous and said it was part of a novel. That's stupid. That's stupid. You called everybody by their name. That's stupid. That's stupid. You could have said, that is a note to my lawyer, put it back. I'm trying to explain to my lawyer the timeline of events. Why are y'all reading privileged communications? She's not smart. Why are you writing that down? You can tell your lawyer that. You go tell your lawyer, look, this is what my brother knows, this is what, and this, they'll find out you lying, but they got to run your case how you want to run your case. But why are you writing it down in jail? You're in jail. This is prison. And they want you. They want you. This is the biggest trial Utah done had since who knows when. You are the talk of the Mormon gossip, okay? And now you going to jail. And now you going to jail. And how does that feel? We have closing arguments today. I already told you what I think the defense should do. They should stick to their theme of the witch or the widow. And they should say, they said such and such and such and such. They wanted to make her look like a witch. But this is what's really happening. She's actually a widow. That should be their theme for all the bad facts they have. And some of them they should just leave on the floor. Don't even pick up. Don't even say a word. Don't you say a goddamn word about that walk the dog letter. Okay? Don't you say a damn word about her stealing from her friend. And don't you say a damn word about her not knowing the housekeeper's name. And don't you say a word about her wanting something stronger or the Michael Jackson drug. Don't you say nothing about that. Some shit you just leave in the air, let it linger. Don't bring it. Don't bring it back. Don't bring it back up. But there are things that they can bring up to say, look, that made her look like a witch, right? But this is what's actually happening. Here's a widow. I think the fact that the defense did not want to say House of Cards and that stupid Driscoll made it a point to say House of Cards, I think that's going to be the prosecution's theme in their closing. That Kouri had built this house of cards on debts and destruction and lies, and eventually it was about to fall down. And she needed some money, and she needed some money fast. And they were already having issues, and she already had a boyfriend. So she decided, I'll make a lot more money with him gone. We shall see. We shall see. I might come back tomorrow after closings and tell you what I think, if they're good or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't feel like hearing that lady's voice though. I can't remember her name. The one defense attorney that is very condescending and just nails on the fucking chalkboard. Ramos has really gone up in my book. I think he's very cool, calm, collected, and I would like him to do it, but I don't think he's had enough involvement in the case. Plus, they weren't there for the jury instruction conference. Lewis, oh God, not Lewis. Lewis is the older lady. Um, they weren't there for the jury instruction conference, which means they probably won't be giving the closing. Um, so we're gonna have to hear her say y'all and all type of ridiculousness that she thinks is relatable, but it's actually very annoying. It's actually you saying y'all Nestor. That's who it is. You saying y'all is not connecting you to me. It's actually just annoying because every time you say it, they tell you to stop saying it. So if you could speed this along and just stop fucking saying it. that's just that's just my personal opinion. You think Lewis is doing the closing? Okay, that's interesting. Because of the two, Lewis can't never keep her facts or dates or words right. So that's going to be interesting. Um, We shall see. We shall see. Lewis better be in there doing some vocal exercises, me's, and some la las. Because if you get up there and slip up on them dates more than twice, you've lost it. You've lost it. So you better get up there and do some tongue dips and flips and make sure you got the days right. That's just my opinion. It don't matter though. Cause Kouri, you in danger, girl. You going to jail. You're going to jail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But you're going to jail. And it's your fault. It's nobody's fault but yours. This defense, while inartful at times, did the best they could do with the information you allowed them to have. Don't you blame a soul for you going to jail but yourself. You did it. Opening your mouth and saying dumb shit is why you're going to jail. Anywho, y'all, I have to get off of here. I gotta go to work and do some real work. I have to do some research for this case that I've been thrown into. Y'all know I hate working in the courtroom. Y'all know I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But Miss Mary's granddaughter is gonna get it done. Okay, I hope y'all have a great, marvelous Monday. I hope it stops raining and I hope the wind stops blowing and I hope we get some sunlight because a bitch is over it. Okay. I'm done. I'm done with the cold. I'm done with the snow. I'm done with the wind. Done with the rain. Done. Done, done, done. Y'all have a good day. Make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Make sure y'all eat healthily. Summer's coming. We got to be summertime fine. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week. And make sure y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Bye. Bye, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.